How's it going, guys? It's Carl here from the Orcs Den. Training made simple. That's not our slogan, by the way, but I need to think of a slogan. Well, topic of the video today. Apologise, I'm a bit sweaty and dehydrated. Just finished the session. Legs and pull. Pull with them legs. So, basically, the topic today is a quick one. Keep shit simple. The basics work. That's the topic of the video. I've been getting some questions lately because I do offer free advice. I'm such a good citizen of society, but I get a lot of questions of people hearing a lot of weird theories and weird motions online that they ask advice on. And it seems to me on a lot of occasions that the actual basics has been removed from the equation, which is weird. So you start off with the basics. You start off with the basic forms, the basic formats and setups, the basic exercises, basic even eating routines, day split, recovery days, all that kind of stuff. The more you get into it and the more you get thirsty and hungry for that damn sweet muscle, then things start to get a wee bit shady. And I'm victim to this. I did the exact same thing, and it's only recently that I've started to reform my exercises back to actually basics, because the basics work. The old school shit, it's there for a reason. It works. Now, there is always a lot of exceptions. There may be some exercises that work. I always tell people, if you don't feel it, if you don't connect to the muscle group, don't do it. For example, stiff-legged deadlifts, great exercise. For years, I could never connect with my hamstrings, could never do it. So I just referred to different exercises to hit the hamstrings. And that's completely fine. Now, I would say persevere with the exercises. Some exercises just take a wee while for your brain to click it and you will get it. But don't waste time. Just because you see someone else doing it that's maybe much bigger than you and has a smaller willy than you, doesn't mean that it's going to work. So, what we are trying to get at here is to stop complicating things. So there's three principles. I can't speak. Sounds like I've had a stroke after doing deadlifts all the time. Three principles that I wrote down. Basically, the first one is how muscle's made. So think of the basic concept. Muscle is made through intensity. You hit the muscle so much that you're forced it to have to repair itself. So you damage the muscle, which is forcing it to adapt. It damages to grow back, to adapt to that stress being put on the muscle again. That's a simple premise. So you could think of trying to complicate so many ways to try to break down the muscle, but in theory, something that's going to break down the muscle and cause intensity to the point of almost basically failure, and you can't use that muscle group to move a certain weight anymore, be it good form, you've done its job. It's going to break down, it's going to repair, and from a day and a half to 2 days, protein synthesis is going to kick in. As long as you eat the good foods and recover, it'll grow. So that's a simple principle. If you adapt that to everything, that's bitch basic. That is so simple. Always think that in mind. Before you try to complicate things and maybe try to hit the muscle 400 different ways, think of, have I broke this muscle down in the first exercise? Yes. Okay. Is there multiple different tiny muscle groups within this big grip? Yes. Try to hit the other ones. There's no point hitting the same thing over and over again. Then the second thing is, what's needed for fuel? Well, we know nutrition is easy enough. What you need to make amino acids, proteins, good fats for safety purposes and recovery, carbohydrates for the energy. Again, basic things. You need the fuel to break down the muscle. Those are two easy principles. And then the last one is just recovery. Again, simple enough. You need to give a day or two for the muscles to recover. You need good sleep. Again, good nutrition and good fuel. So they're really, really simple things. They're tried and true methods. We all know that. Keeping them three principles in mind, technically speaking, you don't need to do mad research and 400 different ways to make the back of the arms grow. If you think of those simple things, you should grow in theory. Yeah? Now, obviously, there is weird and wonderful ways, different ways and different good exercises to hit muscles in different ways that may actually feel much better. It may actually give you more of a pump. And there's 400 different methods that people argue that work as well. There's strength training, there's volume training, there's the German interval training, there's more of a sort of pump hit. There's so many different ways. Now, we could argue with what's more applicable to one's body type, if you're natural, if you're enhanced, sure. But they're all designed to cause intensity. They're all designed basically to push the muscle to almost its limit. Now, certainly if you're training where you're not even getting near to muscle failure, I would argue that you're going to hit a plateau really quickly and you're not going to grow as optimally as you may like. Weight loss is the exact same thing. We know one principle is just reduction of calories. You reduce your calories so much, you're going to lose weight until a point where it's going to cap, and then you may need to reduce the calories again. Simple. Most of this information doesn't require heaps of textbooks. It doesn't require you to go to 400 coaches to ask. If you keep them principles in mind, in theory and principle, you should be able to give it a good hit yourself. Now, if you want to be super optimal, coach all the way. Personal trainer, yes, to be super optimal. But to give it a stab yourself, again, take the principles in mind. Basic exercises. For legs, squats, leg press, they work. For arms, for biceps, curls, hammer curls, triceps, push downs, short grip push downs. For back, pull-ups, barbell row. They're all there for a reason. There is many different exercises, sure. There is different ways to hit them. But to the point when you start complicating things so much where it becomes more of almost a mathematic and almost a scientific experiment, that's okay to find where your niche is. But in the long run, you may waste a lot of time. And also what you do sometimes is you end up inadvertently making it easier for yourself. I mean, I remember early on, I was always stressing to do legs. I was always stressing to do squats because they really took my respiratory system and it really hurt. And I used to scroll through the internet years ago to find what could I replace with squats that still grows legs. And ultimately at the end of the day, what I figured out was, Carl, you're just trying to bitch out of it. You're just trying to pussy out of it. You know the squats are the most effective way, but you're trying to find something else and you're kidding yourself that it works better. And at the end of the day, what did I end up? I end up going back to squats. I complicated things. I tried too much. Theories and principles as well as some bodybuilders do where they tie bits off of the arms to reduce blood flow, and it's complicating things. You stick to your principles and it will work. The more you start getting very, very technical and worrying about small details and scrolling through forums online or YouTube, but not me, this is a fine information channel. The more you start scrolling through YouTube and finding all crazy different fucking methods, you kind of forget the purpose. Intensity, consistency, and tracking. If you keep them principles, it's not rocket science. Making muscle is so fucking simple. You're pushing the muscle, you break it, fuel it right, get recovery, and break the muscle down to the point where it recovers, and it comes back again. Really, really, really easy. That's it. There's not much more about it. Sure, there's form and there's physiology ways to talk about, but in essence, that's it. I hope this helped. I hope it helped. I hope it really helped. I hope it sort of went, you know what, I'm going to stop complicating things. I'm going to stick to the basics because they work. If you need any more advice or free advice, you can contact me anytime. I'd be happy to help. Or you can also purchase programs from us at theoxygen.com, or you can PM me or DM me here, or Carl_Gibson_training at Instagram. The gram. Doing it for the gram. And yeah, until next time. Keep it simple. Keep it bitch basic. And try to look good naked all the time.